episode of Wit It Wednesday with SUG. Say that a couple of times. I'm SUG. As I used to do Monday Minutes with SUG on Facebook and also on IG. And I wanted to start 2021 because we all know 2020 was tough. No need to even go there. One of the things, though, that got me through was having the support of good friends. I mean, like good friends, authentic friends. And I wanted to just start this episode or this series with just bringing in one of my tribe, one of those people that kept me solid the entire time with love. And they had to kind of give me tough love sometimes. And so who is this person? And I want to, even when they come on, explain to you how we even met. Because, sometimes it's those chance meetings. Sometimes it's just availing yourself to people and just being open. And so I met this young lady on the parking lot at the Brook. Both of us attend the Brook. And it was just a hug at a moment that I needed confirmation to what I was doing, that she gave that to me. So I'm going to invite her in, try to at least anyway. Where is she? Okay, let's see. And all of us, hopefully, all of us have that person. Maybe it's a whole tribe. I would say about 7 core friends. Those friends that you can go to that know you authentically. One in particular knows where all the bodies are buried. She's not on this channel yet. This particular person, like I said, trying to get her on Chili Bell. Her name is Chili Bell. She waved to me. However, okay, let me see. There it is. Okay. So her name is Chili Bell. That's her handle on IG. I know her as Alicia Jenkins. And like I said, we met, let me see if she remembers when we met. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Okay, that's Chili Bell, Alicia Jenkins. And you've been listening, so I don't need to repeat all that.
I don't think you do. Are we okay with our echo? I just want to make sure.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can. Yeah.
Okay, so I took it because what we're doing, this is coming all over the place. This is not only like one of my tribe members. Oh, she's also helping me with this. And so, we're going to get through it because it's all about being authentic. Okay, we're good? Okay.
I think we are.
So, Alicia, like I started off saying, 2021, I just want to reflect on how I got through and maybe help other people remember those people that were in their circle in 2021. Even though you were going through your own stuff, you were still there beside me. And I just felt like it was so important to speak with What's Wit It Wednesday with SUG was just say, hey, I got through 2020. So we met, okay, and because I've been talking probably for the last 5 or so minutes. So how did we meet?
I think the first time that we were aware of each other was at the Brook. I was actually serving. I was ushering that day. And I remember I hugged you as part of our thing that we do in greeting everybody. And I remember giving you a hug and you said, oh my God. I need another one of those. I'm coming to you after church.
It was like kryptonite. Yet, and you had hugged me before because I think that particular day, and I said I was going to let you have it, I sought you out. Or maybe you were there, but no, I knew the magic, not the magic, because it's not magic. I knew the energy that you had before. So yeah, you had hugged me before, and I remember just immersing myself. Like, it didn't matter that you were another female, the energy that you gave off. So that particular day that we're talking about, all this kind of came out. I think I sought you out, but go ahead.
I think so. And
Yeah.
I, I kind of fell in love with you from that moment because, here is someone who, she know me from a can of paint, and here I am, serving, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and loving people the way that, shoot, I just do. I get excited when I see people. I just do. That's who I am. So, it was, you made your mark that day. And so we might do that today. I don't know. But you made your mark with me that day. And it was obvious. It was obvious at that point that you were someone who I would see again, and we would just have a different connection because I don't think we had to explain to each other how we were. We just kind of
right. Sometimes you just know, and to be connected with another female, and you just know that it's just pure friendship and just this genuine thing. Yes. Okay.
Right. So, I'm excited, and I don't think I've ever had a day of being disappointed.
We've had some challenges, so no disappointment.
No disappointment whatsoever, because I think that that's what relationships are all about. It's about how two people relate to each other, regardless of, whether it's a girlfriend type relationship, a platonic relationship, a romantic relationship. All of it is all about how you relate to the next person and who tells you how to relate to somebody else. So definitely authentic. Definitely authentic from day one. And I'm gonna say it here publicly in this cyberspace. I thank you for that. I thank you for being open to that. We're just a couple of years apart in age. And so, we don't always, especially as women don't always open up to other women. And here you were opening yourself up, and you became very transparent very early for whatever reason. And I just thank you for that, because what was birthed out of that is one of the most genuine relationships I've ever had in my life. So thank you.
I wish you had cued me in. I'm gonna hold it strong because I was at the heels of being authentic when we met.
Right.
And so it was those two instances. First time when we met at church and you were serving and you hugged me, and I was like, this woman has such good energy. And I wondered where the energy came from, because a lot of times what we put out comes from pain, joy, or whatever, when we later on found out, because a hug, like particularly, oh my gosh, like how much could we yearn for a hug right now?
Oh, absolutely.
I remember that, and it was just so I think we've made that clear. And so the second time I came and sought you out because I was in a point where I needed to birth SUG Notes. Remember, SUG Notes was on the burner.
Mm-hmm.
So after I sought you out the second time and you gave me the hug, church was over. And we wanted, and did we know each other's names or anything?
We didn't at all. We didn't even know each other's names. No.
Wow. Okay, so we meander out into the parking lot at the brook. You know what? Oh my gosh, revelation. It's so interesting because my story with my first husband started on a parking lot. Now I'm going to cry. It's like revelation. So our friendship, you and I, it started on the parking lot. So we go out to the parking lot, church is over. And I know, of course, the brook is packed.
Right.
All I remember is just you and I. And we just started talking about being women.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Being women. I'm sure maybe we talked about this message, and about being women who had gone through similar situations.
Right.
And from there, I was, like I said, was at the heels of birthing SUG Notes. However, I needed maybe confirmation, affirmation. that I could be authentic, because once I pressed send, and I even put you in the very first part of that, because you, like, literally, you gave me the courage to press send or submit, whatever you do. Because it was just, you allowed me to just be who I was. You didn't know me. And from that one 5-10 minute encounter in the parking lot, again, another thing that changed my life in the parking lot. Man, that's revelation, you know? We formed this friendship, and we used to meet at Burger King. And so I'm gonna let you fill in the rest of that.
Just from what, just even from that moment of just stating what your desire was. And, in those moments, not knowing your name, not knowing your background, besides what you had told me in that moment, but definitely, I believe that the Holy Spirit confirms some things between people.
And so, definitely what I picked up from you in that day is that, one, you're full of life, have lived plenty of life. And, I'm going to be honest with you, people who can unapologetically say that they have lived life,
it may not be
true,
may not be popular, it may not even fit that mold of what we were taught. And even, we were standing in a church parking lot, and our backgrounds don't necessarily even match what we're taught we should do. Listen.
Yeah, you're right. You are so right.
That's our story.
Let's be authentic. You're so right.
Absolutely.
And I love you so. Right. Truth.
Absolutely. And that's my thing, because it wasn't about what other people would say about that. It wasn't even about, you being free from it. It's about the fact that somebody else is going to be set free because of what you shared about your life. And so, to me, that was something that I knew had to happen. And even in that moment, I don't know if I told you this. I don't know if I have or not. But even in that moment, you inspired me to press forward. And I'm not going to say that I lived through you.
Right, vicariously, right.
Right. But one thing I can say is that when we see God move in somebody else's life, you cannot tell me that you don't feel like, okay, Father, what's the difference between her?
Exactly. And you get indignant about it. Okay. If she did it, I know I didn't do it. Yes.
And here's the other part. I want you to go even further and further and further than you ever imagined, just because of the fact that, shoot, I want to go further than I ever imagined. So yes, absolutely. Why hold you back? So that was a life-changing moment for me as well. It was. Yeah. It's nice to connect with somebody, and I mean, no shade to anybody, but it was nice to connect with somebody who wasn't connected to it. I'm just going to be straight up with you about it. You're someone that I was able to learn for myself. And again, authentically. And so, I mean.
And that comes at a cost, because it came, out of me taking that journey for myself in 2015 and just relearning who I was.
Right.
Because I started the journey so early, 16, 18, by 22, I was a widow. Want to read more, go to SUG Notes. And so it came being authentic, and it's still a practice every day, because there's still some people that I may fake to. I mean, come on, we've gotten to the point where we put up different faces for different people. And so part of this, what I'm doing, part of having people like you in my life, helps me to know that my past is just that. And I have grown, and I'm now the person I am because of that. So when we talk about being authentic, it comes through, first of all, some pain, some forgiveness of self, of others, recognizing that you've made decisions that were unhealthy, unkind to yourself, unkind to others. and taking stock of that and just really looking at your life. I think sometimes, and this is just me as a life coach, as a person, it's hard to look in the mirror. It is so hard to take stock of yourself. So this authenticity, which I always struggle with every day, came out of just deciding in 2015 that I needed a timeout. I was like, so I won't say lost. I was overwhelmed with life. And I was given an opportunity. My family gave me an opportunity to find my authentic self, even to their own maybe demise. Because I put it in my blog because they had no idea when I found my authentic self, what was I going to do with it? Then what? And so being authentic means all of that, like coming to terms and letting people know, yeah, I was a teen mom at 16. Yeah, I had an unkind, da-da-da. I write all about that. And having people that love you even still. And I must say, and I'm so thankful, I have lost no one, yet I have gained so many people. And I know that that's untrue for some people. Like when we went to 2020, a lot of people had to go through that, drudge through that alone because their support system was now dealing with the same thing.
Right.
Yet I had people that remained steady. Now, you and I, we lost contact for a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so let's talk about that. Everything wasn't rosy. Yeah, we met on the steps and we connected. And so I had a dream that I wanted to pull you into. And so the timing for me was right. The timing for you, though, was not. So let's talk about that as we talk about friendship and dealing with even conflict, because I could have just decided, or we could have decided that was the end of our relationship,
Right.
But yeah, authentic. So let's talk about that. And then maybe it'll help somebody that's going through something with their girls.
Right. Well, I think that, I'm gonna apologize here in this space because for me, I didn't feel as though that I didn't feel as though there was a personal shift. I just feel as though there was a decision that I had to make about my personal life that was going to affect your professional life. And because
it was for me, and I'll tell you why later. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. There was never a desire to disconnect personally.
I knew that.
I just knew that you were in a building phase, and that something that I could possibly do.
Right.
I could do it.
Sure.
But I couldn't do it at the speed that you needed. And I had to make a decision, which, I'm just going to backtrack just for a second, because you said a moment ago about how
your family needs this space
to find
not knowing
and yet they still loved you enough
to allow you that space.
Sometimes, I personally can tell you about a time in my life where there was someone who needed something else. They needed space for God to work some things out in their lives. They needed to heal. They needed to, basically I was in a position where I gave them a list of things they needed to do. And that pointed them in a direction that they pursued. But in that, I knew that as soon as they had our end would be soon at that point. Now maybe that was something that I was, got allowed to see. But sometimes people can see that we're codependent. Sometimes people can see. Sometimes people can see that we have a codependence. Sometimes people can see that there's something that's deficient that's still bringing us together. We're relying on each other, symbiotic relationship in order to survive.
Well, if they saw that, they're brave as hell. Then if they saw that, they were brave as hell to let me do a mother. So yeah. Okay.
Right.
That,
But
yeah.
even still, when you realize that, I realized that in that moment, that was a business decision. That wasn't a life decision.
Right.
And I knew that our relationship was more than that. We didn't come together because of that.
They're probably saying, well, what in the world happened? So I mean, so just tell them it was a t-shirt. So I was in the beginning stages of designing t-shirts, and it's around here someplace. And I wanted to do, I can be impulsive, and I wanted to jump off the cliff right now. And so you and I have been talking about it, and let me just add, I can be flaky at times. Hey, we've been authentic, right? Okay, you know it. Everybody who knows me knows it. I will set up something the day before. I'm like, oh, girl, let me tell you. And I have good intentions at the time. So I think I had done that maybe because it was business, okay, not personal in that regard. So I should have handled it as business. And I think that I was a little, all over the place. And you were focused because, again, you had other things in your life that you were working on. And see, I was just concentrated on what I was concentrated on. And so the t-shirts, I'm ready to launch. We had talked about, I had sent text messages, and the text messages I sent were just kind of random, kind of all over the place, all lively. And you were trying to horn me in. And so we finally had this strategic meeting, and I was ready to launch, I think that week. And it was on Tuesday. And so, it was so interesting because I have the video, the snapshot of that last meeting.
Right.
And you let me say what I needed to say. You, as a friend, you let me get it out before you needed to do what you needed to do for yourself. You allowed me first to get it out because you know how I was, and you probably felt, if I cut her off now, this is going to be sideways. So. And then and I was like, okay, so I had my calendar, and I was like, so when are we going to do it? And so this is the way that I remember. And you so calmly, so authentically, so lovingly explained that the timing for you wouldn't do. That although you knew that I could do what I needed to do, if it involved you, I would either have to wait or get someone else.
Right.
And what you did as a friend, you didn't leave me hanging. You said, Shug, right now, I am unable to do it. Yet, I have someone else. So you didn't leave me hanging. And then that person, we work things out. And okay, but let's be truthful. That in other instances, friendships have fallen apart over that. I could have taken the stance. Oh, she waited to the last minute. Oh, now she knows what I wanted to do. I could have taken that stance because let's be honest, that's that side of me too. And then there's the other side. It's always this devil's advocate. Okay. Yet I knew, and it's the way that you approached it because I knew that you had my best interest at heart. And I knew whatever decision you made was the right decision for you. And if I'm a friend, I needed to understand that because my dreams for myself are just that. You still believed in what I was doing. You just said, I'm unable to take you any further because you had taken me as far as you could. So I wanted to just kind of tell them, what happened. Because it could have gone sideways. And like I said, there are friendships that broke over look less than that. And so I bring that up to say that, to encourage other people that may have a tiff with their girlfriends. So, yeah.
So I did I did what I thought was going to be best. Yes, I did what was best for me, but I was thinking about you. I was thinking about you because, again, I'm a huge fan, and I'm so Shug.
Always have been, day one.
And I refuse call it whatever. And maybe this was about me, but I refused to be the reason why something that you were going to do was delayed or failed. I refused to be that person.
It helped me, but it helped me personally. It helped Alicia. Okay, revelation. I'm gonna tell you this. What it helped me do was to realize that I can be fickle. What it helped me realize is that when I tell somebody 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Because we all make appointments. And then when the time comes, it's like whatever mood we're in. So personally, you checked me. And yes, that helped me tremendously because I started recognizing what I was doing. And it wasn't just to you, yet you were the person who called me on it in the way that you did. Yeah. Yeah, you did. We all, everybody sees situations differently. And that's the way I interpret it because that's the way it meant meaning to me. It was never hurtful. Right. I was like, you know what, she is right. And I looked at the text message, I was like, yeah, Ronna, come on, you fickle. So personally, honey, yes, it did. And I started making a shift in the way that I handle it. Yeah. So it was personal and professional. So I thank you.
Well, awesome. I mean, I had no idea. And so then when we talk about the space and time that went past before we connected with each other again, I believe that was just life as well. I mean, one thing that you and I talked about that we connected on initially when we met or when we talked in the parking lot that day, we talked about how you were a school registrar at one time as well. And
I know.
That is
an everyday job. Right. I mean, it is an everyday job, but you don't meet them.
It is.
Right.
It is, but it's definitely not a 9 to 5.
Right.
It's definitely not a 9 to 5, and you be effective in that job. And just considering that and what I had going on there, and it's those types of things that I'm gonna be honest with you, that will make me miserable every day. It was that reality that made me miserable every day because I was less authentic, because I was tied to something that I was blasé about. I didn't really, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
In my job, I'm going to do great. I'm going to do my best, or I'll stand aside. You've seen it personally. If I can't serve in the best ability,
yes, yeah,
I'm gonna bow out. And that's my truth. And that's not me giving up. It's me after I've done everything that I can do, after I've studied, after I've spent long hours, I've put in my dues to learn whatever I could to add value to this position. If I still can't serve properly, then I'm not going to do it. I'm going to make space and opportunity for somebody else to come and take that organization to the next level. So
let's talk about that. Okay, so we lost contact for a minute through COVID. We were liking each other's stuff on Instagram, Facebook.
We did meet a couple times because I think we met once in Casey, remember? And I think that was
mask. When I brought the mask.
That was masks, yeah. Right. So we'd see each other then, but no, we really didn't connect. We didn't have any girlfriend lunches or anything like that.
No. And yet it was still a love and it was still the friendship. It was just that we understood that we were at different places at that time too.
Right. Absolutely.
And genuine friendships, understand, it's so interesting because most of my girlfriends, we're not texting each other. We're not talking to each other. I'm not a talker. And so yet there's one that I probably may connect with every 6 months and we still are in the same place. So during that time, we were still connected. And I said disconnected. So we were still connected, very little communication.
Right.
And so as I started thinking about, no. And then you went on to a venture so tell them, okay, so we kind of weren't speaking. No, I'm just making it all backwards now. So we weren't in communication, and then we were doing something. So as you were talking about being a school registrar and not living your purpose, so through all that, you decided to do what?
So, you know, I'm a person who operates based upon what's best for my family. You know, single mom, and you know, you have 4 kids. I have 4 kids in 4 different types of educational institutions, in college, high school, and elementary. So that pulled me in a lot of different directions. Holding down a job and wanting to do something special with your life. You know, I have dreams that they're huge. You know, I have dreams that would touch the lives of other people. I need to speak to one person I see who joined us on Facebook. God bless you, Apostle David. It's good to see you today, woman of God.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. But there are dreams that I have that are far bigger than me.
Right.
You know, there are things I want to start that my children will carry on, that will help change lives and reshape the lives of other people who may not have different opportunities, certain opportunities. So, with that being said, you know, it's funny. I actually wrote this down today because I'm thinking about going live about this. Because, you know, I'm going
well, that's why I said, okay, first, because I see you on Facebook. See, earring came off, whatever. I said, yeah, I'm going to get her. So, yeah. Purpose, too. I mean, finding purpose. Well, do you find purpose? But anyway, go ahead. That's a whole nother story. I'm going to reach out to my earring.
The revelation that I had this morning, or just even the thought of the mindset that takes place. You know, we'll stay stuck in a situation doing the same thing over and over and over again, and never get up one morning and say, you know, I'm just keep on doing what I'm doing, and I know my boss is just waiting to give me the golden opportunity to change my life. It doesn't happen, because what happens is it would have to swap you out for CEO. Whatever the case is, there are no life-changing moments taking place on your job. I'm just saying, your job can end in a heartbeat, whatever the case is. So nonetheless,
but do we all have to be purpose-driven? Do you think, though? I know that's a whole other. No, that's okay. Go ahead. I'm just going to hold that question.
Well, you know, as far as purpose is concerned, you know, my purpose, I feel, is not tied to money, but it requires me to
fulfill the purpose. And so to ignore that would be foolish.
It would be foolish.
And so
there's, I'm told that we have an echo. There's something that we can't deny
with that. We cannot deny the fact that,
you know, it takes money to do what we're doing. It takes money to do the things that we're
trying to get out and do. So, you know, when the
year started, I was
looking for something different.
I remember.
And so,
you know, then everything shuts down. I had already been in communication with someone who's responsible for scheduling me.
Like, hey, put me back on the schedule.
You know, I was already preparing to shift and do some stuff differently. And so when I began to look, and, you know, I look around and think, you know, because I'll work. I don't care. So I'll go out and get a part-time job or whatever. And whatever job I got, I didn't want it to be something that was going to be laborious, to where it would take me from the house, or that it would, you know, even occupy too much mental space for me. And not money in my sleep, and I can smile and give good customer service.
And sometimes we seek that as the alternative instead of just taking time to recognize or just take time to think, what can we authentically do right now other than to add on the additional stress of a job? But go ahead. So you're thinking most of the year, you're like, you know, okay, tag me out, time to do something different. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And so we're, things begin to shut down for COVID. Working in the school system,
we were sent home.
and now I have 4 of my children again, and one from college, home with me, along with my other 3, and we're trying to figure it out and not freak out. Which, me personally, I was good.
Because you were already in the school system. Okay, so you understood. Yeah,
I was good, because the thing is, I'd started out that year and months beforehand asking God for time, because I wanted time with my children, knowing that anything can happen, and your time with them is over, or you can be so engrossed in the other things that you're doing, and before you know it, that child is graduating from high school, going off military, or whatever the case is, or just going to find themselves. Anything could happen. God forbid something were to cut off life for either one, or sickness were to come in. But I'm just saying, if you don't cherish the days that you have every single day, you find yourself longing for time you'll never get back. So I was looking for that thing to be different, looking for something that was going to add a blessing to my life, a blessing to my children's lives, and then it was going to be something special, something that, like I said, I mean, cash register. Really make my life like that? Nah, it really was. So, here on I saw a friend from someone I've been knowing ever since I was in middle school. He's a trusted individual, and so when I saw that, he posted something saying that he was making money from home.
Tell me more.
He came out and told me exactly what it was. He said, I'm having on night. Love for you. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, tonight. To myself.
I know. Can I get like a sneak preview or something? Can I get like a
Let me know what it is, because I don't want to be out here selling crack and like that. You know what I mean? You just got to
tell me ahead of time so I can do some research. So when we had this call, I'll be on board.
Whatever. So, I had to wait them 2 days.
By the time it came, you said, I don't even want to do it now.
Not at all. I was like, what? We're gonna use this. We're gonna ride this out. I'm not a stranger to network marketing. It's something I've done before, and the things that I found to be limiting in it are things that not limiting, but things that were challenging
for children, and
relationship
with your children is number one.
And you can't take those kids with you everywhere.
Right.
Your what impacts a lot.
Life coaching.
Yes. Your what affects your why.
And just fill them in on what the rest. What are the next 2 questions? the how and the when.
I know.
Oh, you pulling out adding me, change, achieve, do. Honey, you putting in all the plugs for me today. And let's pack, be present, aware, and know.
Yeah.
And the 4 basic questions to anything, as Alicia's talking about her decision to take this leap, are basic questions: what you want to do,
right?
Why you want to do it, how are you going to do it, and when. And so you went through the what, the why was what was where I bunched in was the why. Yeah,
right. Exactly.
So,
I think that you know, just for a moment, for anybody who feels as though network marketing is a scam, your job is a scam. But for them, for those who feel like it's a scam,
you're willing to come in and do what you're supposed to do, come in and do whatever it takes to work.
You know, you can really make something amazing happen. Just last week.
But wait a minute, before you get to last week, because you though, and you're right in what you said, though, you have to believe because you really believed in it, right?
Oh,
take us back to the post because honey, I know you and me, we'll be down the river in a minute. So I'm going to play the life coach here for a minute. So take them back to you saw this post and the why. Yeah.
He invited me to that. It was just to that he was in this business venture. And so I joined. You know, I tuned in, and I'm sitting there and listening to the presentation. They're talking about the products, and I don't even remember how far into the presentation when I messaged him to Instagram and I said, "Hey, what I got?
Bruh. Yeah.
I mean, I'm good. You know, to me, it made sense. You know, something. A lot of times we want to put our products in the hands of people. We want to give them value. For some of us, it just makes sense.
The why has to be strong enough because that's the driver. For you, the why was strong enough and it made sense.
Absolutely. There was nothing foolish about it. It was something that, of course, I had taken into prayer previously. You know, I was looking at a different company, and I looked at
what that other company offered.
I didn't feel as though that was where I needed to go. There was a lot of confusion. There was a whole lot of other stuff, but I just never felt that I should go that way at all. But ended up, you know, here it is. Later, this opportunity presented itself. So yeah, I jumped on it real quick. You know, jumped on it real quick because the cost that it took, you know, the upfront cost, you get that back in a matter of a week or less. You know,
compared with the cost that you're paying by living a life either that's out of purpose, because we know when we're out of purpose. And sometimes, you know, I think one of the drivers is what is my purpose in life? That is what people seek to find. What is my purpose? And sometimes we know when God speaks the word, we just know. I know once somebody planted the seed, I was supposed to be a life coach. I knew because of life. Right. And so you knew that once we know purpose, there's no way we can just sit idly in the same space.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the opportunity came out of purpose.
That was misery, you know? And that's what I was feeling for a long time. So every day, even now, I wake up with a sense of what can I do different today? What can I do different today that's going to unlock something? It's going to unlock something, some space in my mind that I didn't use before. You know, even when we talk about creativity, you know, I believe that each one of us has creativity somewhere inside of us. You know, God is a creator. A creative. He is the creator. So, you know,
everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're made in his image. So if we're made in his image, we have his attributes as well. So creativity is inside of each one of us. When you begin to use it, you begin to unlock it and it flows. It's like turning on a faucet. You know, you don't have to. Water doesn't, as long as your bill is good and your pipes are good and everything, you turn on the water, it's going to flow. It doesn't trickle and let me pray about that stuff doesn't happen. It just flows. So when you get into this thing where you're comfortable with tapping into what God's given you. And I believe that those are the places, you know, because it's impossible to please him without faith. Whenever we whenever we get into those places where we're lacking that creativity that he put inside of us,
that's where he really blesses us. He really, comes in and shows himself, shows out, and
leads us through it all. It doesn't stop. So
yeah, and this is where I wanted to kind of tie it all in. And all of that, is so true.
mm-hmm.
In addition to that, we have to have people in our circle, which is where the whole conversation started. We have to have a chili belt in our circle. We have to have an Alicia in our circle. And we realize that everyone is not meant to go the journey with us at those times. And one thing that I had to recognize too was the ability of my friends to carry me, or for me to carry them at different times in their lives. One friend cannot be my be all with all.
Right.
That one friend, and I remember the one girl, the young lady that I started with that knows where all the berries of bodies are buried. She has known me the longest, probably 42 years. She knew me when I was 15, before I was 16 and got pregnant. Yeah. And she told me at one point when during the time I was trying to find myself, and I was reaching out to other people for a need that only one person could fill. And she told me, she said, "Shug, you're going to the wrong source. That's why you're always disappointed. You're seeking something in someone else that they are incapable of giving you."
Right.
And so as I apply that to my friends and even some of my family, I have to understand my kids can't always give me what I need. They can't be that thing for me, nor can I be that thing for them, because my kids are grown now. Yeah. And
I don't even want to be.
So we learn people's abilities to be who they are. Now, some people just may not want to be. They choose not to be that friend. But I'm just talking about people in general and understanding people's talents, abilities, inabilities, weaknesses, strengths, and things like that. And so through 2020, like you, I think we started 2020 strong. And then there was a period at which we were doing our thing.
Mm-hmm.
And once we connected again, it was like, "You're doing that? What? I did this. You did that." Oh, because these are things, though, we had talked about and encouraged each other about from a distance, face to face, before it all happened.
Right.
And you need to have, even if it's one person.
Right.
I'm fortunate I think I started with 7.
Yeah.
Even if it's one, and even if that one, when you need them and they are unable, not incapable.
Right.
Because they are capable, because they've been your friends, they supported you. They are unable at that moment to support you.
Yeah. Come
out of yourself and just try to realize and remember the times that they've been there all the other times.
Right.
Everything's seasonal, even friendship season. We started off the season strong. So as I, to bring that up, just to bring it full circle, is to recognize the strengths of your friends. Don't bash them if they're unable to give you what you need.
Right.
They need something themselves,
Right.
And if it's a genuine relationship, a genuine friendship, you're going to know it. Even if you get in your feelings. Okay, I'm not talking to her today. Okay. Well, then tomorrow she'll pick up the phone. So that is important that we just learn that people are capable of certain things, and we cannot depend on everybody or our friends for all of our needs. And we need to have different friends so they can fill those needs.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I feel like it's unfair to the next person to lock them in to be your everything. That is so
dangerous.
Unfair.
And a lot of times I find, especially this day, right now, I'm going through that with my children. That transition that they go through in life. Every phase of their adolescence is different. But even that transition from adolescence to adulthood is not one that they are always willing to embrace. Everybody want to be grown until it's time to be grown.
grown sometimes too. So, you know, yeah.
Right. You know, you're seeing that. I feel fortunate that 2020 and all of everything that, you know, we've all experienced. 2020 is a year that I learned about the value of relationships. And I will be the first one to tell you that many times, you know, I treated relationships wrong in the regard that I gave too much. Because it is possible to
all right,
give
that's a whole hour conversation, at least.
I'm saying, I'm gonna touch it for a second, and that's it.
Okay, you're there, so you got to touch it. Yeah.
And it is being mature enough to know that you've given too much, and that you feel depleted because you're extending yourself beyond the purpose in that relationship.
That's right.
And you know, back to us, you know who's tried and true whenever you can step back, realign the way that you're supposed to be, things in order, allow God to put them in order, and you still love each other and can still connect.
That's right. And ask the question, hey, and ask the question. Like sometimes you got to ask your girl. As hard as it may sound, as hard as it may feel, because if she comes back and says yes to this question, the question is, did I offend you or did I hurt your feelings? And you got to be ready, because even the Bible says if you have an art with your brother, you're supposed to go to him. I posted something on my Facebook because I made an assumption, because I'm being a hypocrite by saying exactly what I'm saying. I assumed because someone had failed to reach out, I had failed to reach out to them as well, that I had offended them. And so I took the passive aggressive way of posting that. And then when I spoke to them, I felt like a butthole, because if I had just said, so let me just ignore, don't do what I just did. Right. You know, sometimes it's by being authentic. You got to call your girl, because we know sometimes when we offended each other. Come on now. That's right. And the healing process comes being mature and big about it is like, okay, all right, tell me what I did. Listen to it. And if the relationship you feel like is valuable enough to save, you'll talk it through. Right. Ignoring it will continue to diminish any relationship. Husband, girlfriend, whatever. And so, you know, I know that I'm just very grateful that, first of all, we had this time. Man, it felt like, even though it was an hour, it felt like 30 minutes. Just because we allowed ourselves to be authentic, and hopefully something that we've said would help someone. And it's just to encourage, get somebody's, if you're in your circle who can support you. In your squad, your tribe, who can say, hey, look, like SUG, like you out of line. And if they tell you that, you know that they have your best interest at heart, then check yourself. Instead of just saying, no, check yourself, because they say it out of love. And I just appreciate you spending the whole hour with me and with everybody. And I hope we can do this again, just about life. And, you know, what's Wit It Wednesdays with SUG is just about what's with it. What's with it, whatever it is, you know, whatever it is.
Come on now. Yeah.
Seriously, I don't know what it is, what your Wednesday is. You know, next Wednesday I could be talking about airplanes or this planet over here and how it inspires me to grow. I have no idea. Right. But one that I'm going to be committed to is being as authentic as I can. Listening to, I know my purpose, and I have to live my purpose in all ways that not I see fit, God sees fit, because if he told me to walk away from my job, and we know this, I mean, that can be a whole nother thing, a leap of faith. In February to be a life coach, then I know that I have everything that I need, and I need to expand on that. And I know that my life, my skills can help other people. I know that. And so if they don't know who I am, how can I help? If I have a testimony and never tell anyone, that's like a lie. That's like, you know, going through my own little struggle. I survived it. No, I survived a whole lot. And I hope that these Wit It Wednesdays with Chug will just help someone. And Alicia, I'm so glad that you were here. And I'm gonna, we're gonna do this again for sure.
Yes, yes. I'm honored to be here with you as well. Honored to be called friend by you, because you are such a such a force, such a triple threat, if not even more. You're just a full combination, for real. I mean, you've been a blessing to my life since that day in the parking lot. I'm grateful. Whether we speak or not, I am so grateful. And just know I'm over here like, okay, sure, I see you.
I'm speaking to the camera, wherever the camera. It's people like that. And it's not to puff me up, like for real. And that's not what I'm saying, to keep people. It's people, it's women. It's women.
Right.
Other Black women.
Right.
Willing to say, girl, you do that. You want that. Sit yourself down now. Don't say that. To encourage other women.
But to say it from a sincere place, from a genuine place, and not from a place of bitterness. Not from a place of bitterness. Not one that is trying to dampen someone else's life, to sing with somebody else's fire, because you're full of fire. You are full of fire. And I know that what I see here today and what I saw back then, let's pause for a second. Let's pause for a second. Because even the Rana that I met that day, she was in her shell compared to the one who I sit
for sure
in cyberspace across from today. And this girl right here, for real, this girl is on fire. This girl right here is on fire. Hey.
And it's because, like, seriously, and then when women give you a compliment, women say thank you.
Just say thank you.
This dress. Oh, I like that dress. This whole thing. I like that dress. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, girl.
Because if we're giving it and receiving it in the right place,
that's right.
Then we're going to give it and receive it in the right place, not in a conceit kind of way. And if I'm rocking, tell me I'm rocking. If I'm looking bad, please tell me I'm looking bad. Because yes. I gotta go help another girl right now, because we can do this all day long. So you know what? Maybe what you're doing next Wednesday, we'll see.
Hey.
Girl, I love you, and thank you so much for being my friend, and thank you for being authentic in that parking lot that day. Because of that, like, I birthed SUG, and SUG stands for, in case you don't know, struggling under grace. It's by His grace. Go out.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. All right. To everybody, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Girl, love you. Until the next time, be well, stay healthy. Peace.
Peace.
Bye, girl.
Bye.
I think we're still alive. Do I need to do anything?